Hi, this is Lee. I'm so excited to show you my EP assignments. I've been working on this for a year, so it's a big deal for me. Hope you guys like it. I'll keep working on it as I'm able, and we'll keep hopefully making things easier peasier. So when you open it up, it's going to redirect you to this page to log in. There'll be announcements, so pay attention to those. I'm trying to tell you something. These links will take you, directly to learn about those things. Whenever you see this banner, it'll take you just to allinoneHomeschool.com. So you can just go to the site, it's still there. We'll come back and talk about using an account. Whenever you see this, it opens a video on the page just to walk you through how to use that specific page. But let's just get in. We'll come back to logging in. So you're going to start by entering as a guest. Right, and the first thing you're going to do, there's a help using this page button. And of course, this will take you to the store to look for books and things. Remember, you have books. I just went to my first homeschool conference and was surprised. There's a bunch of people who used EP and didn't know we had books for the courses. So we do have offline courses, and if you're using an offline course, you can still use this program. Like my one son uses the Math and Language Arts workbooks, and he still gets on here because he likes checking off that he did his work. And it's accountability for checking their work, and they get points, and keep tracks of what day they're on and things. So you can still use this even if you're using offline. But we do have offline and reading up through 7th level, basically. Okay, so the first thing when you get in is you're going to want to create your students. Now you only do this the very first time, and then this will be done. You'll never have to do this again until you're adding a kid, taking off a kid, or they finish their school year and you want to set their courses for the next year. So you're not doing this every day. Just when you first get in, first thing you're going to do is edit student 1. You don't want your student called student 1. So put their name in, click on save. And then if you have more than one kid, so don't switch, there's no other students, okay? You can't switch until you have more students. So you add a student, put their name, so this is student 2, save, and then you can switch between the students. So when your kids get on, the first thing, it'll always redirect them to this page first so that they can switch it and make sure they're on the right student. So the student color thing I just added as a visual cue. They get on and see green, and they're usually red. It's just a visual cue. Wait, it's not, this isn't my page. And you'll see that it'll add the student's name automatically at the top as well. So that's another obvious thing. We know kids don't always see the obvious, so the color is just a cue. So I do encourage you to have them each choose their color. So the easiest way to get going, this will take you to like the links to the PDFs for the different placements for reading, math, language arts. This is the easiest way to set your courses. You can just come here and just choose each one however you want. It goes all the way up. But if you just click on this, then you can just choose level 3 and then choose your theme, and voila, that's like the level and years, how the site used to work. Then it's all set up for you, and then you can just come in and change anything you need to. And if you're not starting on day 1, you can go ahead and just put in your whatever day number you're on. You can be anywhere you want. It'll automatically, just do this one time, it will automatically move the days ahead as you say they completed, not just the day, but if they completed language arts, then it moves the language arts forward. Okay, so it automatically set your other courses as well based on the history theme. Now science, the science, the Bible isn't necessarily related to the history theme in any way at all, and you can choose other ones. But if you just want to use the 4-year rotation, it'll set it up as it was originally created to work. So these numbers here, that's the levels. This is for levels 1 through 4. This is for levels 5 through 8. So the high school 9 through 12. So let me show you some more ways to choose here. So if you have a high school student, you can just They don't get to pick themes. It'll give them what would be typical for that level. So there's no, we only have thinking in the lower school. So this isn't going to show on the student page. You can hit X and get rid of that, but it's not going to show up. Spanish isn't going to show up on their page, but you can get rid of it if you want. And again, you can just change anything like that. So you can see find music. There's not like a set music like there's in the lower school. It says under electives. So let's go look at electives. So anything you're not using is down here. Language arts isn't used automatically because after 7th, it just becomes English instead of reading and language arts separate. So it just takes that out and just has the reading course above. That's their English. So electives. So anything you want to restore, just click on down here and then it just will show back up. And it's a set order for how the courses are. They're set the way they are in the levels and years right now. Eventually, we'll work towards letting you choose the order, but it's set how it is on the All-in-One Homeschool site right now. So there's electives. Again, this is like 3rd through 7th grade, the recommendation. So if you wanted to have music appreciation. Also, there's an electives too, so you can have more than one up here. I put chores and practice at the end of here. You can't write anything in at this point, but if they're supposed to practice piano every day, there's, get your chores done, so they can't check it off until you approve that their chores are done. And you could use this one for practice. So it's just a fun thing. So one more choice here. Preschool and kindergarten. Okay, so if they need to learn the letter sounds, if they know the letter sounds, if they know their sight words, it's a little information about that. If they don't know their sight words, they should start here. This is a short course. They can do all this in 1 year. That doesn't mean they're going to get behind. Okay, so let's look a little more here. You can also, whatever, if you're starting the year, starting on day 50. Things like, let me choose something higher here. Level 5. So you'll see that it automatically put them in the 5th through 8th level course there. So the once a week things like computer, thinking, art, music, they will show up once a week on the child's lesson. So if they don't complete that lesson, it's not going to show up until the next computer day or the next thinking day. It's not just going to stay there waiting for them. Now, if you didn't complete week 1, when computer comes back up, it will show them week 1 again because they haven't completed that lesson. But it's not just going to show it every day until it's complete. It'll just show it on computer day. So if you're using those, I suggest you complete those when they come up, but however you want to work it. But just so you understand, it's based on your day. So this day would show PE Health. PE Health shows up on any day that ends in a 0 or 5. And that's just the way it is on the allinonehomeschool.com site right now, the way we've been using it. So it's what you're used to if you've been using the full program the regular way. Okay, so anything you want to get rid of, you can just get rid of, and then you can always put it back. Down at the bottom of the page, this will get you to the student page. When you're ready to get an account, if you know you're going to be using it, and see that it would be helpful, go to the account page and log in, get an account. I'll tell you how to do that. Anytime I do something new to the site, not little changes, but add some feature or something, I'll put it on the updates page. In info, that's your place to go to get questions answers. I'll be developing a frequently asked questions section for now. Just some notes. So you can read through those. Appreciate you reading things and looking at the videos and learning how to use it to help yourself and be able to help others. So this is what I was just talking about, how to get started there step by step. And there's little videos, choosing your classes, using a lesson, adding and editing student names. So if you forget everything I just said and you just need a quick, here it's less than a minute to look again about how you do the student names. Hopefully everything's pretty clear and easy to use. And I'll be working on all these things, adding videos and organizing them and stuff. Let's go back to settings and look a little bit more here. So let's give our student 2,000 points. As they complete assignments, they get points. And then they can spend points. So say you charge them $1,000, 1,000 points, and I don't know, they get to go on a walk with you or whatever. So we subtract that off. That's mostly what the points are for, is for spending them. On that info page, there was a sample rewards sheet, some ideas for points. Whatever you want to do with your kids, is like, it helps with accountability. Like my kids always want to play like a board game, and I never want to take the time to do it. So they can earn points to play a board game with me. Or whatever, my kids earn points to get their own box of ice cream. They get to pick the flavor, and it's just for them. But I would buy ice cream anyway. But it's special to them, and it's not really something extra for me. So that's what points are for. These little info bubbles will pop things up to explain. Click on the course titles to view the course description and notes. So if you click on these, it just takes you to the site, right? So it's at the top of the page, it's things about books, the course description, and any notes. So when you start your school year, take the time to look at those pages. If it says anything about books or materials or things that you need to print out, if you need to print out worksheets, or if you want to buy the printables workbook, stuff you should decide at the beginning of the year, and just click on those links and it'll take you to those pages to learn about those things. All right, little info bubbles. It's set so that the kids do one day at a time, but you can have it set up so your kids can do more than one day at a time, and I'll show you that. And turn off the lights. That'll be clear in a minute. Let's go look at the student page. So these little, this is a link. It'll take you to the site, or wherever that information about whatever that is, and you can get rid of those. So the student will. So this is day 100, right? Lesson number 100. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to jump down the page to 100. There's your lesson at the top of the page. No more scrolling, no more finding the number. It'll jump down the page. So that is a really useful feature, people. And you'll see the coloring change. Once they've clicked on a link, there's a color change. So, if you're checking in on your phone, you can see what they've clicked on so far. All right. And then when they're done, they click on that, takes away needs work, and changes to, so it shows they're ready for checking. They think they're done. And you can hit the X, no, needs more work, or you can click the check mark, and then it dims this out. So this says that lesson 100's been complete for language arts. Okay, now there's no check mark here to mark the day down because there's still all these other things they haven't done. Let's say they did reading, and by the way, if it looks like this, they didn't click on the link. Right, the color changes if they clicked on the link. So let's say they did math, reading, language arts, and that's all you had time for, but you decide that counts as a school day. You can go to the parents' day and mark the day complete anytime. You go back to their page, it's all set for a new day. This has moved on to lesson 2, this has moved on to lesson 2, that's 101, right? Because we marked lessons 1 and lessons 100 complete. Now the rest of these are still on day 1. They're not going to move forward until you've completed that specific lesson. Okay, so now we have music here. Again, there's a help using this page. I'll walk you through these things I'm talking about. In the middle of the day, is this time for a break? It'll open up a page where they'll click on the link and it'll play. I have like a dozen songs on there now. Probably work on adding to that. But it just plays like 2 to 4 minutes of randomly selected from my list. So just let them play the whole thing and encourage them to dance, exercise, run around while that music's playing. So one last thing on this page, they get 100 points for each one. They do all their work on the page, where typically you would do all your work on the page, but you know, if you wanted, some people do like just history and they do it in chunks at a time, then they'll do just science for chunks at a time, something like that. Then you're not completing the whole page, and you can just leave it sitting there and it will you know, just stay on lesson 1 until you're ready for it. So then this check mark shows up because you completed everything, and then it sets it for the next day. All right, so let me just show you those 2 extra things over here. Did more and turn off the lights. Okay, so if you wanted to hide did more, you'd go like that. If you wanted to turn on lights, you'd go like that. Okay, so save and return. So the lights, that's pretty obvious, right? The dark background. So this time, when I'm done, it gives me a check mark. So if they did lesson 4, then you check it off. So this, in this dimmed area, it shows that lesson 4 is complete. Lesson 5, they did that. Let's see, it shows complete. It shows dimmed here. That means lesson 5 is complete. Lesson 6 they didn't do, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And I'm going to go to show you what that looks like. So now lesson 6 here, we marked lesson 5 complete, so it's showing lesson 6 for the next day. All right, by default that's off, so you have to turn that on. All right, so finally let's just go back and look at accounts. You have to get there from the settings page. I just put parents on the student page because you know, I don't them, you know, think they can fool with settings. It's for you to touch mainly. Okay, so we're not logged in, so I go to login. Here you can, this is where you go to get an account. Okay, so it's fine to use it as a guest, but you need to be careful. If you like clear a cache or something, it's going to wipe out your day numbers. It's saving it on your browser. So, you know, if it's going to only use it on Chrome. If you go to Firefox, it's not going to be there. If you clear a cache, it's not going to be there unless you tell Chrome, don't erase my apassignments.com when you do this, when you clean. So getting an account can protect you from that, or like a Windows update wipes things out. If you update your browser, it can wipe it out. So getting an account is a good idea. You can also use different computers or devices. So you know, one kid's doing games on the computer or typing, another one can be on a tablet or a phone, you know, doing a reading assignment, something that's easy to do on something, you know, smaller. So that's useful. Or if you're traveling, go to grandma's house, you can use the computer, right? You'll be able to log in. You can check in from your phone. You can go to the website on your phone and just, you know, add it to your home screen. Just click on it and see what links they've clicked on so far. You have to switch between students to see everybody. See what links they've clicked on, see if they say they're ready for checking, things like that. So everyone's just one account for the whole family. All your kids are in one place. And hopefully we're going to be working on more features. So just go here. This will take you to PayPal. So what I'm asking for is for an annual payment, basically a donation, any amount, if you're going to be using it. If you're not going to be using it, don't make an account or delete your account because server space costs money. You don't want to hold your stuff if you're not using it. So if you click on this, it'll take you there, and even if you just click cancel and don't want to give a donation, you'll be redirected to where you give your email address. So here's the steps here. You'll be redirected. You can start using it as a guest, and I'll just walk you through that. So you can enter any amount there. I have a little note on that page that we just came from, that, you know, the hope is that this would become an income for my family, so that my husband can work for EP. That's our hope, as there's EP's overwhelming. There's so much that has to be done, and so much that could be done, and so much I really want to do with EP, and I just can't. I can't at all. It's hard enough to keep up with the have to do. So, he sees the overwhelm and knows that. So he would like to help with all that, and he's taking a coding course now that he'll be done July 2019. So he's going to be able to work on that too. We've been making our own activities for EP. We've been writing our own lessons. We're doing all sorts of stuff that's going to make EP better and long-lasting stuff for its future. So we're really hoping that'll work. So anyway, to get an account, you add parent name, because there's just one per family, right? Family, and then email address that you're going to use to log in. And this email address I'm going to write you at. You're going to get an email saying, you have your account has been registered. So look for that automatic email. Before that, you need a confirmation bill. Okay, enter your name, enter your email address. It's going to send you an automatic email to confirm your email address. Okay, so you need to find that email and click on the link in it, and then I get your email address. And then I will take your email address and physically register it. I have to do that myself. And then once you're registered, you get another automatic email saying you've been registered. You're going to log in with the email address you gave me and EP as the password. It is here, just EP. That's how I'll set everyone's to get started. So, if I get your account, if you catch me right when I'm working on it, your account will be set up very quickly. But if you don't catch me at the right time, I'm just asking you to give me 24 hours to get you registered. So you'll, if it's been a day and you don't see an automatic email, maybe it went to spam or something, just try to log in. Use your email address and use EP as the password so you can get in. And of course, you can email me if you've waited a day and it's not working. So I think that's everything. And then what you'll do is go back. Can I get back? Go back and log in. So if you can't remember your password, click on this and you'll be able to enter your email address, and it'll send you an automatic email where you can enter a new password, things like that. So you log in. So probably the first thing I want to do is come down to the bottom of this page. Now instead of login, it says account. So reset everything, sets day numbers to 1 and stuff like that. So if you're playing around, you can click on that and okay, account. So you can log out. You can change your password. So that's probably the first thing you want to do is change your password. So just click on that, enter your new password, and delete account if you're not going to be using it anymore. I'd appreciate that. All right, I think that's everything. And of course, this site is still there, still going to be here. The menu of courses is still here. Store, all these other things are here. All right, so I hope this makes easy peasy, easier peasier. And thanks for using this. And I'm happy to be able to serve you with this. I know it's going to really help a lot of families.